Hello Capricorn, my name is Paul and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Right. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Look at that. Beautiful Ace of Cups. This is the beginning of a real connection, a real, I feel kind of like returning to the source of your happiness, reconnecting with things. That's a very, very good energy. Let's put it into some context, all right? Okay. More court cards here. Path of the Serpent. Yeah, we got some good fire energy, a lot of creativity here. There's a need, I think there's a need for us to reconnect, right? I feel like we've really been involved in our work, immersed in our manifesting, and I kind of feel like this is us reconnecting with our dream here, with this is us regaining inspiration, and the cat likes that idea as well because she's here to say hello. But first, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. And we'll just put it right here. We'll put Kevin, aka Mr. Bates, the Dove and Serpent Frog, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. Okay? I want to see if it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. But if at any point during the reading, I don't know where that cat went. If at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to leave your prediction in the comment section. Okay, I want to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations and tap into spirit, tap into source. Start discerning that card together, right, as kind of a group exercise here. Yeah. But first, let's take a look around the room. As far as major arcana go, we only have the Art or Temperance card. This is interesting, and it's in the position of what we don't want. So that's going to require us to do an I-Ching hexagram, which is always a fun idea. But I wonder why this is kind of in the obstacle. Maybe it's the idea of balance that we're finding challenging, right? But let's start back here. Let's start before the beginning, right? With this Four of Swords. I think that this is just some general mental stress, right? Just daily life stress that's been in your life. Probably related to your daily activities, work, if it's school or career or family, whatever you do every day, right? I just feel like there's a lot of tension there. I feel like this card is us kind of just choosing to let things go, picking our battles. This is us giving others the benefit of the doubt, okay? Mainly for our own sake, right? Just because I've got one crisis at a time, right? There's no need to really get wound up over everything, right? Some things we just have to kind of let go or just say, I'll deal with those later, right? And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. I almost feel like you're just kind of lying down and you're just trying to just rest. I'm gonna pretend I don't hear the yelling and screaming outside or in the other office or the conference room or the living room, and I just need to take a break, right? So I feel like that is part of it. But we also have these court cards, and we have a fire court card up here, and we have these two earth court cards. We have the Prince and the Princess of Pentacles or discs. I kind of feel with these court cards that we're trying to like reconnect with the inspiration, the joy, the happiness, the real purpose and meaning in what we do, right? We're trying to find the inspiration in our commitments, in our daily work. This is the fixed earth energy. So this is telling me, the Prince of Pentacles, that you're very committed to what you do every day. You're not going anywhere. But we want to find that connection with it again. We want to be inspired by it again. We want to feel, well, we want to feel the fire again, right? Rather than have it just be routine, kind of day in, day out. I don't want to say monotonous. I don't like that word, but it could be that it's very routine, and we're looking for this Ace of Cups because that's going to fuel the fire, right? Because what we have now is kind of feeling an Eight of Cups down here. I feel like we're a little bit discontented with maybe how things are going, how we feel about what we're doing. It's just kind of this is a period of time where we're lacking a little bit of that fire, a little bit of that enthusiasm, the commitment, the energy, right, emotionally. And I think taking a time out from some of these more social or interpersonal, intellectual battles will free up some mental energy for you to reconnect with the work that you're doing, right? Because we've got this Ace. You know, the Ace it was the first card to come out. This is what it's all about. Gaining this inspiration, realizing your dream, feeling the connection to this again, right? That is what is taking place right now. I think you're truly blessed. We just have to reconnect. We have to find this again, right? And I think the next couple of weeks are going to be very important. I think for a couple of weeks you should focus on trying to reconnect with this. Take a little bit of, or put a little bit of distance, I would say, between some of these smaller, less high priority kind of arguments. Give others the benefit of the doubt. Don't be overly analytical. Don't be too rational about things. Just let things go a little bit more than perhaps you're used to. This is the only air energy on the table, okay? So this is kind of a card that says, hey, let's be present, let's observe, let's take notes, but let's not engage in any of the arguing or the friction or anything like that, right? Because we're trying to get out of that mental energy for a minute and start feeling our spirit again, feeling our blessings and getting back into the real passion of what we do. Okay, so like I said with the Eight of Cups, a little bit discontented or dissatisfied with things. But that satisfaction, that contentedness is coming back, okay? Because what we really want is not to go from the rather hardworking but, kind of rather dull Prince of Pentacles. We want to get up here to the really inspired, really innovative, really just is passionate, has just this vibrant energy. There's some zest here, right, in the Prince of Wands. So it's kind of, we want to go from this kind of, this earth energy into this real fire energy. And I think that comes about by connecting with our work again, connecting with why we're here. Doesn't have to be employment. Doesn't have to be what you do for money. It's whatever you are spending your time doing every day, okay? In any field, any realm, personal, private, whatever it is. We want to get back to this. We want to get back to the real, energetic, inspired activity, right? And I see that happening in the future here. We've got the Princess of Wands. Well, it's not exactly the prince, right? It's the princess. So I feel as if we're going to achieve this Ace of Cups feeling again. We're going to find the source, the well of what we're doing, the meaning behind it, the purpose, and this feeling of connectedness. Okay. And it's going to inspire us in a way that is perhaps a little bit perhaps a little bit less focused than we are now. There's this idea here of going a little too far, right? Being a little overzealous or over-enthusiastic, right? It's a little hyper, this card. Okay, it's not as focused and fixed as either of the princes are that we have. This is, it's the surge of energy that you feel, the initial rush of that energetic feeling, that enthusiasm, that inspiredness, right? It's the kind of the first wave of that. And it'll even out as you go. But I think this is a very good card. Now we have to be careful that this doesn't kind of lead us into any bad decisions or any kind of impulsive activity, right? So we kind of need to simplify and take this energy and feel it, but go slow, just kind of one step at a time. Don't, this is the card that kind of rushes to work and says, I've got all these ideas, we're making all these changes, throw everything out, and we're going to, it's a little bit kind of hold your horses kind of deal. But it's a princess of wands. It's earth and fire. So there's a lot of physical changes that you might be inspired to make. Let's slow down, one kind of thing at a time. All right. Because there is not a lot of the swords energy here. Like I said, there's not a lot of the rational thought. We don't need too much of it, but we want to have enough that we don't get into trouble when we kind of feel this surge of energy, right? So it is kind of a one step at a time. Don't get overzealous here. We still need to remain focused and fixed in our activities. And we move to the path of the serpent. We have the Princess of Pentacles. So this is really cool because we have the earth connection and we've got fire to earth here. We've got fire and earth here. So I really feel as if you're inspired to do big things, to really manifest the potential here. The Princess of Pentacles, it is in the position of your general energy. And as your general energy, it seems to me like you really are seeing the potential of what you're doing, right? You're seeing how limitless your manifestation could be, okay? And I think it's the princess that really wants it all right now. Let's make all of these, let's implement all of my great ideas right now. The Princess of Pentacles, this is the implementation of all of your great ideas, but maybe not all at once. Okay, again, it kind of suggests one step at a time. See, these two energies are quite different, but they both are very creative, very inspired, right? And they are both pretty much unlimited. You've got to put a little bit of a limit on there and not rush into everything. I think that's a big risk when we reach something like an Ace of Cups and we get this inspired feeling again. Then we kind of think we get this almost an invincible feeling, right? Where we can just kind of go in and we can just change everything all at once. And sure, maybe you could, but should you right now? Okay, I mean, that's up to you. So we need to kind of temper this feeling a little bit. And maybe that's why we've got the Art or Temperance card here, right? Because we're going to feel such a surge of enthusiasm, and we might run the risk of being a little bit overzealous. So we do need the temperance energy, and this is going to be the difficulty, is kind of containing your excitement, right? It's like when I get too excited doing these readings and I can't catch my breath and get another word out. We've got to take a breath, and that takes us all the way back to the Four of Swords. This is the only air energy. We have to keep a steady, balanced, calm mind and spirit. Do your fourfold breathing, right? Release some of this tension and this very hyper energy, right? Very enthusiastic that we're going to feel that. Let's bring it down, okay? And I think that's why we've got that Art or Temperance card. Well, we also have a 9 of Wands here. And this is in the position of your environment. And I think this is really, this is the strength that you feel. This is the resolve. This is your willpower, essentially. And it's kind of got a fire-water connection. It shows a sun and a moon. It's got external and internal, above and below, conscious and subconscious. It's got the fire connected with the water, right? This is the strength. This is the resolve. This is the willpower that you gain when your soul, when your consciousness makes the connection between the source of kind of why you're doing what you're doing and how and where you're doing it, right? So there's this connection between kind of your inner reality and your outer reality. And that kind of a connection, knowing that you can take what is within you and express it and manifest it, not just express it into the ether, but actually make changes to the physical environment. That is really a powerful, powerful energy. This card is called Strength. And this is a will that is unbreakable because you are connected. Your fire and water are connected. Your inner and outer. So I think that this Eight of Cups is really a non-starter. This is not even, this might be what you're kind of starting to feel now, but I feel if you take advantage of the next couple of weeks and we disengage from some of this friction and we really try to reconnect with this inner reality, this inner truth, this Ace of Cups or this moon energy, I think we're going to find the strength. We're going to find this willpower. And of course, there's balance in this Art or Temperance card. This is in the position of the obstacle. I think maybe this is the idea that it is going to be difficult for you to contain some of this excitement, some of this willpower, some of this strength, some of your absolute magical ability to manifest, right? This is, if you've got the Midas touch, you're going to want to go around turning everything to gold, right? But be careful. You know what happened to Midas, So it's going to be difficult to contain that. Anytime you're really, really excited about something, it's so hard to wait. It's like Christmas morning, I used to get so excited for Christmas morning, I'd wake up at like 3 a.m. and I would just sneak out to the living room and I would just sit there and I would look at the Christmas tree and try to see if I can, figure out what some of the toys were in the packages. But it's too excited to rest, to calm down, to do anything else, which isn't a bad thing by any means, but it is something I think we have to temper. Okay, and that's the difficulty, I think, because this is the only major arcana energy. We do have to do our I-Ching card. Let's not forget. One of the unwritten rules, anytime we get a single major arcana card, we're going to consult the I-Ching and cast a hexagram to get some clarity on that major arcana, in this case the Art or Temperance card. Why is it all by itself? Why is it in that position? Let's see what the I-Ching might tell us. I think that's the one. 24. Returning. Creating success, going out, coming in without anxiety. Partners come, not a mistake. Turning around and returning on your path. The seventh day comes, you return, fruitful to have a direction to go. Well, interesting. This might be talking a little bit about some of this friction, some of this kind of giving others the benefit of the doubt, not engaging in all these, arguments and stuff, and kind of picking your battles. Then also returning. It's almost like we're trying to return to our source, to our original will and impulse, our original desire, the meaning of all of this. We're trying to return from this. So it's almost as if we were out here doing our work, and then we kind of said, well, I gotta return to this source so that I can continue with my work with more zest and passion and vitality, and I can, everything that we already talked about. So this makes sense. this makes sense, but let's look at the text on the back. Your journey leads you out and home again in a two-way flow of creation. Well, I like that. I like the two-way flow of creation because that's what we're doing. We have external and internal. For you to create outwardly, you need to have this connection internally. And I think it feeds on each other, right? The more connection with your source, with your meaning and purpose you have, the more gusto with which you will create your world. And the more you see success in your world, the more you're going to connect with your purpose and the meaning of things. Let's see. A two-way flow of creation to revitalize and restore. Traveling companions walk alongside you for a while, but if they're meant to be there, they will never steer you off your path, especially with an overarching direction and purpose to guide you. What is beginning to germinate? How can you follow your sense of direction more closely? Where might the path lead now? So, maybe with this art or temperance card, this is us really regulating our thinking and feeling, right? Left brain, right brain, regulating our need for, well, what the I-Ching is calling our companions, right? Traveling companions that walk alongside. It doesn't have to be people. It could be energies. It could be feelings, right? Let's realize how our quote-unquote traveling companions, whether that's energy, feelings, emotions, thoughts, whether it's swords, energy, whatever it is, how does that affect us, right? What is it that caused you to start feeling this kind of disconnection, this discontentedness? That's a hard word to say. What was that traveling companion, right? And is it time for us to return to this source and realize that we don't need to take all of our companions with us, right? If they're meant to be there, they will never steer you off your path. Not just people, feelings, ideas, beliefs, right? Habits, routines. What is beginning to germinate? Yeah, let's reconnect. What is it that we're doing? This is the whole point. We're reconnecting with our purpose, with our original impulse and that original will. And how can you follow your sense of direction more closely? Well, the final card is the Two of Wands. This is you taking responsibility for all of this. And Capricorn, I'm always under the impression that you're like a business owner, that you're somehow the leader of something, right? I feel like you have your own business. I feel like your family works for you, that sort of thing. And very often in the past, we would see a family member / coworker kind of interfering with things or just making demands on your time and energy that would kind of take you off your path, right? That would at least temporarily delay your progress. So with the Two of Wands here, we have this idea of being very strong and adamant, being very resolved to control the course of our ship. And this is kind of an energy that is not going to let anything push us off our path, like the I-Ching is talking about. They will never steer you off your path. No, because you won't let them. You won't let them. And you can recognize that if something is trying to steer you off your path, you have to make the difficult decision as the boss, right, as the leader, to do this, to say no, right? So there is kind of a re-engagement with things here, but at the same time, we're not participating in those petty disagreements, right? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to tell you how it is, and that's going to be the final word, right? Because you're the boss, whether this is just your personal life, your school situation, it's your consciousness, right? It's your path, it's your life. Let's look at the mystery card now. I'm curious about Mr. Bates, aka Kevin. Let's see. Put these back. This is where I'm going to ask you to try to connect with these cards. And let's see if we can discern this mystery card together. I will Just leave the camera like this. I'll pause it for a second. And if you get an idea of what this is, leave your prediction or your answer in the comments section. I'm going to venture a guess here. And I'm going to say that this is, gosh, we have all of this fire energy. I kind of want to see some more water. I want to see like an unfolding of the water energy into a 6, into a 9, into a 10, just to show really that we're connecting with this source again, and that it is, the details are expanding, right? That it is kind of, the water is flowing and it's trickling down into everything, you know, a 9 or a 10 of cups. Well, it's not too bad. It's a King of Cups. It's air of water. So we have a lot of these court cards here today. It does seem to me like there's a lot of kind of group activity stuff going on. So there are other people here that I think we're trying to kind of not engage with. But with the King of Cups, it's a fixed energy, right? It's very similar to like a Prince of Wands, a Prince of Discs. In this case, it would be the Prince of Cups. Very fixed in your purpose, in your connection. And this is the basis for all of your decisions and actions. All of your thoughts and feelings come back to that. You're fixed in that water energy, right? So it's almost as if that purpose is never out of mind. It's never out of heart, right? You're fixed in that. And every decision you make, every step forward, all of your fire and earth activities, right? Fire here, earth, fire, and a lot of fire and earth here. All of your fire and earth activities, which is your act of creation, right? I always talk about fire and earth. You're very fixed mentally in that deeper feeling, that purpose, that meaning, right? So this card to me is all about you living authentically, right? The air and the water, your heart and your mind. Your mind is fixed in your heart, in that purpose, not your surface level emotions, in that deeper purpose. And this is how you move forward. And this is kind of this is what we're in search of. This was the very beginning of the reading, and this is what we achieve. And this is really perfect. Very happy with this reading. We're going to do an extended though too. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. You know, I've been thinking about just releasing all of my readings on one particular day or 2 days a week, right? Let me know how you feel about that. If you just want to see everything come out on Mondays and Fridays. Every sign, 12 of them on Monday, 12 of them on Friday, 2 days a week for everything. Let me know if you like that schedule. Kind of thinking of doing something different. Trying to get the algorithm's attention here. I appreciate you watching this video all the way through until the end. I want you to remember, Capricorn, that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we are all in this together.